Elite Marble and Granite, and 18 Cranes proudly presents our main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing in an eliminator for the Commonwealth Super Lightweight Championship. This contest is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. Our area representative is Josh Sadler. Also by the Commonwealth Boxing Council, our supervisor, Debbie Down. Our 3 scoring judges ringside are Phil Edwards, Mark Lyson and Michael Alexander. Our timekeeper at the bell is Peter Humphrey, and when the action begins, the referee in charge, Kenny Pringle. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our officials. It is now time to introduce our boxers. They are under the lights and ready to fight. Introducing first, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the blue shorts with white trim. On the scales, he weighed in 139 pounds and 8 ounces. He comes to the ring with an excellent record. 15 wins with only 1 defeat. 1 win by way of knockout. Introducing from Leeds, Billy the Kid Pickles. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent facing him across the ring and boxing out of the blue corner. Wearing the red shorts with white trim. On the scales, he weighed in 139 pounds and 6 ounces. He comes to the ring with a record of 11 wins and 3 defeats. 6 big wins by way of knockout. From Sheffield, introducing the former Commonwealth Silver Champion, Keanen the Wolf Wainwright.
This could be a very good fight indeed. On paper, extremely well matched. Billy Pickles, the older man from Leeds, and this fella, Keanen Wainwright from Sheffield, 26 years old. Pickles, his opponent from Leeds, a lad who initially started boxing to lose weight, to be better and more effective as a rugby player. And I don't think either corner, either camp is approaching this with any huge degree of confidence. And it's a bright start. Wainwright has a real all-action style. Pickles, oh goodness me, has an all-action style, and down he goes.
And we saw in his last outing against Louis Horn, Wainwright, he put him down in the 4th, so we know if he gets that timing right, those that sharp backhand of his, that's what can happen. But Pickles knew immediately, John, that he'd been caught off balance there.
What a start, though.
Didn't
what a start.
Buzz him at all, but he knows now he's up against it. In this round, at least.
Long, long way to go. And of course, Pickles can come back, and he's clearly not been badly hurt by that. Stunned and embarrassed more than anything.
He'll be, like I say, he knew straight away the mistake that he'd made. Caught flat-footed, perhaps, and just off balance. Maybe a little bit buzzed, but caused him no problems whatsoever. But he'll be annoyed at himself for that, because as I say, really early on in this opening round, he's up against it now, because that's a 10-8, isn't it?
Well, you'd think so. He's coming forward, trying to put pressure on. We're actually still only halfway through this opening round. Had more action in it than you have in 2 or 3 rounds in some fights. And Pickles appears to have regrouped fairly well.
We'll have 2 great sets of fans throughout this as well, of course. Keanen the Wolf Wainwright always brings a set of fans, all with wolf heads on, which always makes it interesting. And the Leeds element for Billy Pickles as well. They're all in fine voice tonight, and we'll get a really good atmosphere in here for this one as it goes on.
There's a lot of people made their way down from Leeds, and they're responding to this now. Good rally from Pickles, caught by right hand as he came into the zone, into the box. Good uppercut in there from Pickles, and he's landing some really solid shots in the closing stages of this round. Great opener.
Absolutely. I was really impressed with Billy Pickles last time out. He was in with a tough Nicaraguan, Christian Narvaez, and he put in a really good account of himself. And he was coming back from a loss there, where he'd fought Lucas Ballingall for the English title last July. So, you know, he's put a couple of wins together since then, and this is a really in-form, confident Billy Pickles.
Judges normally score around 10-8 with a knockdown, but it's not mandatory, and the way Pickles has come back, it could be that the judges here, that's Michael Alexander, Mark Lyson and Phil Edwards, won't automatically score that 10-8, although they probably will. But didn't Pickles come back well? Absolutely,
and it's a great point that you've made, and as I say, early on in the round, you're going to think straight away, damn, that's a 10-8 round, you know, as a fighter who's just been knocked down. We weren't to know what was to come after that. What did come was a brilliant response from Billy Pickles, who wants the judges to make no mistake. That was a mistake that I made. I wasn't hurt at all. I'm going to make sure I dominate the remainder of the round.
Here's the knockdown coming up. This is how it happened.
As I say, literally just got caught off balance, flat-footed.
Completely squared up on me.
Just a mistake, a slight mistake, and unfortunately, he can get punished for it. And we saw Wainwright do the same thing, as I said, against Louis Horn in the 4th round in his last outing. We know he's capable of that. Pickles was here that night. He watched that fight, so he'll have known, and he'll be annoyed with himself for that. But a great response, and what a fight we have here, because both of these men we've seen in action before, and they can work and work and work, and I don't think there'll be any let-up in the intensity and the energy in this fight.
Oh, he almost got caught again there, and he put a hand down, did Pickles, and I tell you what, that could have been given as a knockdown, because if a hand touches the canvas, and I'm pretty certain that it did, that could have been given as a knockdown.
I certainly thought it did. I think it was his left hand, left glove touched the canvas, but...
Well, a slow motion replay will confirm it, and I'm being told from our production staff that that should have been given as a knockdown.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's going to have to be switched on, Pickles, isn't he? Because Wainwright is really savvy, and he's able to find those little openings.
Well, he's quick, isn't he?
He has that sharp timing, doesn't he?
It's insistent. He provides so much pressure. If you make a mistake, even if you're getting out punched, you're potentially in a vulnerable position. Not going to be able to keep it up at this pace, surely, for 10 rounds. Good right hand there from Pickles.
They've both got that dogged determination type of style, though, John, where they can really dig in and continue to apply pressure. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't see this level of endeavour throughout, but really enjoying this. Long may it continue, because this is great to watch, and the fans are absolutely lapping it up, and rightly so.
It's going to be an energy sapping and grueling fight if it keeps up with this sort of intensity, and if it's going to be fought at this sort of speed. This is a Commonwealth title eliminator at super lightweight. You can see, just watching them, how much it means, and it's kind of got the look of one of those fights where they're looking to be the champion of each other.
Yeah, and he's had this experience as well, Wainwright, of course. He won the Commonwealth silver against Haitham Mahmouz in Malta, and he spoke of just, you know, it'd been the best night of his life and he wanted more of it. Then he had the disappointment in the setback against Louis Horn in a very, very close contest. So, you know, he wants to be back up there, but then you can say the same for Pickles, who's had the shots at the English. So both of these are really going to, you know, this is a big, big opportunity for them. They're going to give everything.
Wainwright's trainer, Glyn Rhodes, who's been around the boxing game forever and knows more than most, he almost refuses to recognise that defeat of Wainwright's against Louis Horn as a defeat. He says, I think the referee was about the only person who thought that he'd been beaten, but it went down in the record book. But here he is now, and that's a good round, second round, another fiercely competitive second round. But I don't know if we can show you that moment when he touched down, which should have been given as a knockdown. How did he score that one, actually, Stacey?
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that.
Now, let's just watch this first. You watch for the left hand there. Well, you couldn't quite see from that camera angle. Maybe you confirm it here. Watch again. Watch the hand go down there, and yes, he touches the canvas.
According to John Rowland's VAR,
it's true. It's
touchdown.
True. It's touchdown.
No, it's absolutely true. But if you look at that, John, and break it down, Pickles putting himself in the same position again, coming forward, leaning to the left, leaving himself wide open. He's going to have to be really careful when he's looking to fire off that backhand and not lean too far to the side, because he's coming square and he's open to that. He's vulnerable to it.
Back to my original question, round two, who won it?
I really can't separate them.
Not a lot being spoken there by
absolutely not.
I thought that apart from the knockdown which wasn't given, I thought that Pickles just got the better of it. Just.
This is good work from Wainwright, but then a great response from Pickles. It's almost impossible to separate them. They're both landing equally, and one has success, the other fires back. Superb.
And the further this fight go, the more fatigue is going to take a toll, and he's been told off by referee Kenny Pringle for illegal use of either the elbow or the shoulder. I'm not quite sure which, but Kenny Pringle, the referee from Hamilton in Scotland, was having none of it.
And they're interested in these types of contests, John, aren't they, in terms of what will separate them? Very little at the moment. It could be that big shot or that well-timed sharp shot that sort of, you know, lands and puts the other man down, or it could be fatigue that sets in and the other one can become more dominant. It might shift in momentum. There are so many variables in a fight like this, and what a contest. Pringle,
the orthodox fighter, against the southpaw Wainwright, Pickles rather, and Pickles, I think, is doing well with straight punches. He's perhaps landing the more eye-catching shots.
Good work with the uppercut into the body there from Pickles, though, as well.
This is Pickles' third 10-round fight.
I think Pickles has had the edge in volume so far in this round.
I agree.
So I'm edging towards him for this one so far. Although Wainwright in the opening couple of sequences really landed some big eye-catching shots, but I think that the better work since has come from Pickles, and with greater consistency as well.
Yep, he's finding the target. Good variety in his work. There's a nice right hand.
And this is what he does. He just works away and works away. But it's at that, when he's going from long range to mid-range, he's got to be really, really careful not to go square-footed and get caught, as he has done on 2 occasions so far. He hasn't done that so far this round, so that's been better from him.
Billy Pickles, who trains at Club Energy in Otley, and many of his supporters here tonight have made their way down from that part of Leeds. Good round, this one, for Billy Pickles.
I think that was a lot more clear in terms of who you would give that round to, John, as opposed to the previous round, which was almost impossible, I felt anyway, to separate them. I think Billy Pickles put a bit of daylight between them in that third round.
It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out with the scorecards, assuming it goes the distance. If it does, you know, that first round, if that's a 10-8 round in Wainwright's favour, then that's a big moment. And the fact that Pickles' touchdown, it wasn't given in the next round, you know, those are key moments for fights.
They certainly are, and in Pickles' corner there is sort of, some coaches like to demonstrate what they're asking you to do, and you know, he's throwing lots and lots of uppercuts and hooks. I think he's asking him to bring that in when he's at close range on the inside. Try and find a way to let those uppercuts go.
Martin Bateson in that corner with Billy Pickles.
Yeah, sorry, Bateson, who was demonstrating that, yeah. Demonstrating it well, I have to say.
Oh, good shot, good right hand. Starting brightly in this round, Pickles. And just anxious moments slightly you sense for the Sheffield team. They just have to get their man right back into this. And this is more like it. He needed this. Good uppercut inside from Pickles. A couple of right hands to the head as well.
Absolutely. You can hear chants of Wolf, Wolf, Wolf. The fans of Wainwright. He's given them reason to cheer in the opening seconds of this fourth round. He's really rallied, put some good combinations together, but Billy Pickles is a very difficult man to deter because he just keeps coming and coming and coming.
So many Leeds fans here. Sometimes when you get fights involving the home fighter, which Wainwright is, you sense that judges are sometimes swayed by the crowd noise, amplifying the success of the home man. But there are so many Leeds fans here that in Sheffield tonight, that is not the case.
There's been a little swelling under the right eye of Pickles, John, as well.
Left eye, I think. He's certainly got some grazing under the left eye.
Hopefully that won't swell too much and become too problematic. There may well be a little bit of a swelling or graze of some sort under both eyes, I think, for Pickles, because it's a good shot from Wainwright again.
Solid body shot comes in from the Sheffield man as well.
Fascinating, these type of encounters, John, as well, because they do ebb and flow. The momentum shifts in favour of one fighter or another, and it's just so exciting.
Well, that's what makes a really good contest. When I heard I was going to be doing this tonight and this top of the bill contest, I was so looking forward to it, because this was exactly the sort of fight that I hoped we were going to see, and so far it is producing the goods.
Switching his stance there, Billy Pickles, as well, just to try and bring something different for Wainwright to have to think about. And there is definitely some sort of bruising under his right eye as well. He's getting a little bit marked up, but it's not causing him any problems. It may well be from one of those shots landed earlier from Wainwright, but this is great work from both of them.
Long way to go, isn't there, Stacey? You know, I mean, you can take your opinion on which way the tide is flowing, and it's going this way and that's a lovely little exchange where Pickles had the better of it, but then back comes Wainwright like this. This is the sort of fight.
Yeah, he sensed that he'd caught him there, and indeed he did, and he just wanted to take that momentum, but Wainwright then straight back at him when he had the opportunity. Really fascinating, this one, in terms of how the momentum will shift as this one develops, because you can put in this effort every round, but you're not going to dominate every single round. That's unlikely when you've got a fighter who's matching you for energy and pace and intensity. It'll naturally sway.
When you get close rounds like this, you can have very widely divergent scorecards when you come to the end of the fights, and sometimes I think that people and our judges get unfairly criticised because it is obviously subjective, a decision as to who's won it. It's one man's decision, one man's vote, but it can depend where you sit as well. Well, if you're sitting on our side of the ring, the other side of the ring, from a different perspective, it can look completely different.
Of course, and I think it's, as they say, the sight test of who you feel has had the better of it over the rounds, but judges are doing it round by round. So as you say, you could have 10 incredibly close rounds that a judge feels one fighter has just slightly edged 9, and therefore the scorecards sound ridiculously wide, but it is reflective of the fight as they saw it.
Yeah, now our British judges are honest men, you know. I mean, there's been one or two in the past who you could suggest you'd question their competence with some of the verdicts they've given, but by and large, judges come at it with an open mind and score it exactly as they see it. This is good work from Pickles, right in the face of Wainwright, trying to wing the punches in, but Pickles doing that, but Wainwright working well off the ropes as well.
I think this range suits Pickles far more, because as I was saying before, when he's at long range, and certainly when he's trying to step into that mid-range, Wainwright was more able to catch him, especially when he was vulnerable, when he was in that flat-footed position. Here, Pickles is able to just continue to apply pressure, and Wainwright just so far unable to get himself off these ropes.
Whatever the fans have paid for their tickets here tonight, this is value for money.
And there we see, from that, trying to get from that long range to mid range, a little timing off is just that range a little bit off for Pickles, but once he gets here, he's accurate, his shot selection's excellent, and he's just not allowing Wainwright a second to breathe.
No, he's trying to wear him down, isn't it? It's a sort of an attritional approach.
But there we see, as soon as Wainwright is at that distance from mid to long range, and there's a cut there, he operates far more effectively. Is that a cut to the left eye of Wainwright?
Wainwright's cut, yeah. I think it's somewhere around the temple. I'm not sure it's actually it might be the eye. And certainly Pickles sees that. He's right in front of him.
Unless
and meanwhile,
it's Pickles that's cut and it's gone on to Wainwright, because he seems to have blood on his face as well.
Well, the damage to the right eye of Pickles is certainly worsening, and I wonder if this is going to be a factor the further this fight goes, the more it unfolds. And there's a gum shield come out. It's Billy Pickles' gum shield. Wainwright sent to the neutral corner, and were there just a few signs there that he was coming on stronger? It is a cut to the left eye of Wainwright, and there'll be some real high pressure work from the corner to staunch the flow when the bell comes to end this round in about 15 seconds.
The nature of this contest, John, is that both of these men are going to definitely look like they've been in a fight tomorrow morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, they'll be frightening people with the way they look, never mind with the way they fought.
You and I can do that, we haven't even boxed tonight.
I've had a career of it.
It's definitely in Wainwright's interest to keep this at mid to long range, because when he's throwing those long shots from the outside, his timing's excellent, he's sharp, he catches Pickles. Pickles has not allowed him the space to operate at the distance that is most effective for him.
Look at these replays. Good shot off the ropes there from Wainwright. This is when he came back and was starting to dominate, commanding centre ring and landing some real quality shots. There again, working off the ropes. High intensity, high pressure work from Billy Pickles in the blue shorts, but there was some very good work from Wainwright, and he might have done enough to take that round.
Possibly, and these replays are showing what I've just been saying, that all of Wainwright's success, or most of his success, has come, as we see in here, from mid to long range. Once Billy Pickles gets up close, he operates really effectively, and Wainwright is just pressed up against the ropes or just ends up on the inside, unable to let his hands go. He has to try and keep it more at mid to long range as the key to his success tonight. I really feel that's the case.
Now,
Pickles
quietly,
making it his fight up close.
Quietly, we go into the second half of the fight. Have you got that scorecard that you're keeping so carefully in front of you? Come on, who have you got winning? Who have you got winning?
I shouldn't have worn white. I definitely should not have worn white at ringside tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what I've got. I've got Keanen Wainwright at this stage, edging it, but not by a distance. It's still very much in the mixer as we come through into the sixth round here.
Looks like they've done a decent bit of work in the corner on the cuts, John.
Yeah, both men needed attention, didn't they?
Needed a bit of patching up, and done a good job of that. Puncture repair kit has worked well.
Pickles' eye appears to be still bleeding just a little. Right eye is the bad damage, but it's not swelling so as to affect his vision. Question of whether or not blood is dripping into his eye, of course, is a factor, but I don't think so.
This has not been fought at close range as much as the previous couple of rounds, but Billy Pickles is having success at that range. But I think that's because Wainwright, just at the moment, has lost that little bit of snap in his shots, which is going to happen because it's been fought with a real ferocious pace, this one. It's tremendous for the fans and for everybody watching on Fight Zone.
Pickles is clearly the one who is marking up more. The facial damage appears worse on the face of Billy Pickles. Good body shot. Really dug his feet down and planted his feet to throw that with intent.
You wonder, John, if they haven't been quite as close in terms of range since they've sustained those cuts, and maybe both corners have said, look, get your head out of there, because they're marking up so much, because there's definitely been a change here.
And both of them, I think, are being having to vary their approach a little because of the frenetic pace at which the early stages of this fight were fought. It really maybe has sapped Pickles the more. He's not seemingly fighting with quite the intensity that he was in the first 3 or 4 rounds. And the blood now starts to flow again from the eye of Keanen Wainwright.
I think still, though, the volume in this round has come from Pickles, and as I was just saying that Wainwright's had his greatest success at this range, but Pickles has actually operated pretty effectively at this range.
Difficult fight to score, I tell you. Pickles holds his glove aloft as he walks back to the corner. He thinks he's winning. I'm not so sure. I certainly know that it's close, and we only have 4 rounds to go. If you'd whacked some money on in a little wager one way or the other, whichever way it was, you'd be a bit concerned now. That's good work there from Pickles as we watch some real X-rated exchanges. That's the Leeds fans bellowing on Billy Pickles. Come on, Stacey, who do you think's winning this fight?
I'm not sure. I mean, to be honest, John, I'm just really enjoying it. I mean, huge credit to both of them. I mean, both really good ambassadors for the sport in and out of the ring, and it's just great to see them putting on this kind of performance with grit and determination, and you know, just, I mean, there's a lot being asked of each other, and they're prepared to dig in. Just really superb stuff, but with a great deal of technical skill as well. You know, this is the sort of fight when these guys are old and grey and they look back on their careers when they come to these... the Yorkshire ex-boxers, Gabriel.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
When they go to those dinners, they're going to remember this one for the rest of their lives. Who knows, it might happen again. It's been that sort of a fight. You'd certainly pay good money to see this.
It deserves to be for a title, this.
Oh, big time.
These are exactly the kind of fights that you want to be in. You don't want to be in too many of them, but you do want to be in a couple of these, because this is what all the training's for, and as you say, this will be remembered. You want to be part of the fights that are remembered. The fans will remember it. If you're watching with us on Fight Zone, you'll remember it, and certainly more than anybody, the 2 guys in there are going to remember this. Back at close range now. Pickles pushed Wainwright up against the ropes and he's working away again, and it's Pickles' territory this, isn't it? 100%. And as soon as there's a gap, Wainwright's able to fire off again. Really interesting this is. What an intriguing fight. 2 hugely and fiercely committed boxers. Incredibly well conditioned as well.
Body shot from Wainwright. Low, was it? Yes, it was. He's being sent to a neutral corner, and the referee will give him time to recover. And the rules of the game are that in theory he could have 5 minutes if he wants it. Ask Alexander Usyk. On we go. And a nice little touch of gloves between the 2.
Yeah, been hugely respectful in the build-up to this one, and they will be after. As I say, great ambassadors for the sport in and out, and it's great to see them both putting on such an incredible display.
Well, I've seen plenty of big title fight which hasn't produced the drama that this has already. It might not be sublime skills, but in terms of commitment and intensity, it's right up there.
Absolutely, and this is what you get sometimes on small hall shows. You know, it's the grassroots and the lifeblood of the sport, and sometimes there's just nothing to match it. I know the big arenas have that other feel to them and that atmosphere, but here you get every single person here will know one of these fighters and are passionately behind them. It's a local rivalry. You know, there's a lot at stake here. There's pride, there's bragging rights, there's plenty on the line. Everybody here is willing them on and feeling every single punch. The atmosphere for these small hall battles There's nothing like it.
And we're nearing the end now of this 7th round. Another terrifically committed round. Difficult to split them. Both corners will have their own ideas. Both fighters will have their own ideas. A lot of it now is about motivation and about getting their men to really deliver in the final 9 minutes.
Fights like this as well, John, if you're a fan and you're really behind either fighter, these are exhausting to watch because you're living every moment, and they're so up and down. There's so much going on that it can actually be exhausting to watch. And it'll be exactly the same for the corners who are living every punch with them. Lots of work to the eye of Wainwright again, as we've mentioned that cut. They have done a really good job of stemming that though.
Very rarely are rounds given as level. Once upon a time that did used to happen, not so much now. Tends to go one way or the other, and it's kind of a question of how you see it, how do you view it. At home you'll have your ideas. We just know here that it's immensely entertaining, and for me, very close.
It's very, very close. Clearly, well, on my view anyway, at close range Pickles has had the better of it, but Wainwright has had his own success at close range as well, but also particularly some of those nice clean straight shots at mid to long range, but not quite enough of it at times, as Billy Pickles has just been relentless.
Less than 9 minutes to go. Good defensive skills there from Wainwright, evading those 2 attempted headshots, but then a right hand does come through the middle and catches him. Now this is where Wainwright wants to be, centre ring, with space to move, space to operate, and throwing body shots like that. Another good body shot. The pace is slowing, and now a lot of it's going to be about conditioning and fitness as the finishing line approaches.
And we were talking as early as the 2nd round, John, about what could be the difference in a fight like this, because we already knew what we expected. This has lived up to what we expected. It's been exactly the kind of fight we expected. In which case, as we were saying, what separates? Is it that one big punch that someone can time perfectly or pull out of the locker? Or does it come down to that heart and grit and determination and that sheer will?
Combination of all of them, I think, Stacey. One big punch could do it, but increasingly as they get dog-tired, it looks as though the big punch isn't going to be there for either man. Looking as though this is going to go the distance unless somebody literally punches themselves to a standstill.
Certainly one of those where you've got to find it deep down within yourself to not just get through the rounds, but to try and win them. There's a big difference between doing that little bit extra to find a way somewhere from deep within to really rally and put those shots together when your oxygen doesn't feel like it's flowing to your muscles quite as easily. You're tightening up, you're feeling the burn, and somehow you've got to grind it out. That's what this might come to.
Experienced championship level fighters have it almost in their DNA to know when the closing stages of a round come, when to really put their foot to the gas and try and catch the eye with a big attack. We're now in that stage of this round, 30 seconds to go.
A couple of decent backhands have landed from Billy Pickles in the last 3 in a row in the closing minute of this one, and that sometimes can be the difference, can it, if it's that tight. Both had success in that round. What a round, what a fight.
Another terrific round, and you kind of hold your hands up and say, well, I'm not going to commit myself, I'm not going to go one way or the other. You'll have your idea watching at home or on your phone or wherever you're cued into this one, maybe on your laptop or tablet. It is a terrific fight, and there are just 6 minutes of it to go. You almost don't want to see the action end.
You almost want to just give them a title, because this is, just as a reminder to people, believe it or not, an eliminator, but this deserves a title. because what a fight this has been. Absolutely superb. And this is coming from fighters who have been through the ups and downs. They've had those big moments, they've had the disappointments and setbacks, and they are both willing to put absolutely everything into this to get back to where they want to be, just to even have a shot at a title fight. That says what it means to them.
On my card, I've just got Keanen Wainwright shading this one, but I say it with no degree of confidence whatsoever. Looks as though he might just have a little bit more still within him. Pickles, though, is just giving absolutely everything in pursuit of victory.
And he has to, because Wainwright does possess the edge in power here. Johnny is the more powerful puncher of the two. Maybe
the edge in boxing skills as well. So it's just sort of the intensity and making the fight his fight, which is what Pickles has to do and has done throughout. But this
and
is
that
good.
Sheer work rate as well.
Yeah, good work though off the ropes by Wainwright there.
Crowd doing everything they can to rally their fighter, because they know that they need to dig deep here, and sometimes it can make the difference. Hearing your name and hearing people cheer you on, it can give you just that little bit, that 1% that sometimes you need just to dig in.
Nice to say that the fans have watched this in really good spirits as well. There hasn't been one moment of trouble that I'm aware of in the arena, and that's good to know, because everything is happening in the ropes. There's two very tired men in there now.
And I think in this kind of fight is what you can see in the 9th round, isn't it? Because they both know they're going to both be giving absolutely everything in that final round, because if it is in any doubt in the minds of the judges, you want to finish this round strong in the final minute or 30 seconds and then really rally and put a big last round together.
The pair of them can take immense pride from their performances here in Sheffield tonight. But is it going to be the Sheffield man or the Leeds man who prevails? Keanen Wainwright in the red shorts, or Billy Pickles from Leeds in the blue and yellow. He walked out to the theme tune of his beloved Leeds United.
Good work again from Wainwright there. Puts his shots together really well, does Wainwright. His accuracy as well, superb when he throws with Pickles. Throws at the same time.
Keanen Wainwright actually had trials as a lad for Sheffield United before turning his hand to boxing. What a tough way to earn a living. Nine rounds over. Pickles again salutes his fans as he goes back to the corner, but I'm by no means sure.
I've absolutely no idea which way this is going to go, but I have loved every minute, and what a headline fight this has been.
Once upon a time, back in the days of old, way before my time, would you believe, they used to throw coins into the ring. Nobbins, they used to call them, when you had a contest of this sort of standard. And it's that sort of fight here. It's kind of a throwback, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's been incredible, and as I say, it's different to the big arenas, but here you get that small hall atmosphere that's so much more intimate, John, because in the big arenas you'll get a lot of people who are casual boxing fans or will go because it's a big event. Here, they're really invested in these fighters, and we're going to feel an electric atmosphere for these final blistering 3 minutes where these two are going to really go hell for leather.
Well, they will give absolutely everything now. And a key role for referee Kenny Pringle, who's got to keep the action flowing and got to keep it clean. Who's going to be able to survive and produce fireworks right to the final bell? Good start from Pickles.
Straight on his chest, isn't he?
This is where the Leeds man wants to be.
Just mauling him. Wainwright's got to find that space to get his shots off. Pickles just working away.
Could be, you never know, it might all be going to this last round.
And that's why they'll both be aware, neither of them will feel totally confident they've got this in the bag, and if it's in doubt, they'll want to leave an impression with the judges, make sure they get that final round under the belt.
They'll have been asking their trainers, am I winning? And I'm pretty sure that both corners will have said, you need to get out there and win this last round and win it big. And that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, those questions in the corners, how much do you want this? Show us how much you want it. Trying to rally them, trying to get every ounce of energy out of their fighters, because they've expended so much in these 9 rounds, and they'll know they've got to send them out there ready for an absolute war in these last 3 minutes. Good work again from Wainwright at range.
Less than 90 seconds remaining. Wainwright is just being outworked a bit in this last round. Pickles has him where he wants him again on those ropes. And when they're at close quarters like this, it's Pickles who's doing the work.
So hard when you're so tired to push somebody off you as well. Just leans in Billy Pickles and then finds a way through for those little chopping shots on the inside. Wainwright doing his best to throw back, and he's having his own success at times as well. Incredible final round.
Pair of them deserve to sleep for about 72 hours after this. They have given absolutely everything, and the last 30 seconds now could have a big impact. The two men are bleeding. Both have damage around the eyes.
Mouths are gaping open, trying to suck that oxygen in to muster that final bit of energy.
Well, what a fight this has been.
Both
There's a gum shield out. They're both out.
Both gum shields out and both carried on.
What a fight.
Slugging away.
And
wow.
The referee led the applause. Rightly so. Tremendous performance from both men. Has Billy Pickles done enough through sheer aggression, or has the better punching and maybe the better strategy of Keanen Wainwright worked? It is a close fight. Pickles thinks he's done it. The Leeds fans think he's done it. Now an anxious wait for both lads as they wait to see how the judges have made it. Mark Alexander, Mark Lyson and Phil Edwards are the key men, and they'll not be rushing to tot up the scores here.
The body language here is interesting, John, isn't it? And not to read anything into it because the judge's decision's already been made, but Pickles in his corner, arms aloft, smiles everywhere, the air of confidence. I'm not saying it's a stark contrast in the Wainwright corner, but they don't look to seem as confident of having the victory as they do in Pickles' corner, which, as I say, doesn't mean anything, but it is interesting to observe that.
Yeah, he's certainly got the body language of a man who believes that he's the one who's crossed the finishing line as the winner.
What a privilege to sit ringside and watch that, though. Absolute privilege. Just incredible, the pair of them.
I absolutely concur with what you said earlier, though, about small hall fights. Many's the time I've sat commentating in small halls like this or like York Hall, and you see better fights there than you do in these huge stadium arenas. So much hype about the big fights, but this sometimes is where you get the better action. The two fighters being drawn, centering now with the referee. Here's the result.
Can we please have a massive round of applause for both of our boxers?
And how richly deserved this is.
After 10 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. Mark Wilson has scored the contest 96 points to 94. Michael Alexander and Phil Edwards, both 97 points to 93, in favour of your winner. By unanimous decision from
really made the difference. He's cheered around the ring, and what a terrific performance that was. Sheer will to win. I think 97-93 was a wee bit wide, but 96-94 closer to how we saw it, I think, Stacey. But what a fight, and as a commentator to sit here with a microphone in your hand for something like that, it's a privilege.
It is, and just behind us from our commentary position in the far corner, a whole bunch of Leeds and Billy Pickles fans just erupted with joy, because every single one of them here will have been with him on that journey of that loss when he went down to Portsmouth to fight for the English title. They've been here for his comeback fights, and now here they are supporting him, knowing what he's had to go through to get here, and they've been part of that journey. And that is part of what makes these smaller hall shows so special, so personal, and so important in a fighter's career, because those big arena nights don't happen without these. What a night for Billy Pickles. Look at the smile on that very marked up face.
And look at the crowd.
What a moment.
Those are the Leeds fans. And they absolutely love their man tonight. And that's going to be a boisterous journey back to Leeds on the coaches going home from Sheffield. Really will be. And he doesn't want to get out the ring, does he? It's Sweet Caroline time. Stacey's in the interview position, but it might be a while before Billy gets there. He doesn't want this to end. He'll remember this night for a long, long time. Those 97-93s, incidentally, if that was given as a 2-point margin in the first round for Wainwright with the knockdown, it means that those judges only gave him one more round thereafter. That's a harsh way to score what was a phenomenal effort from him. But Billy Pickles did what was needed. Absolutely. So insistent. He made it his fight, if you like. He capitalised on his ability to fight up close in the pocket and rain punches onto Keanen Wainwright from close range. That was the difference. And for me, I think the 96-94 from Mark Lyson was just about right. But they're all absolutely wreathed in smiles, sitting at ringside as we enjoy again. Now, was that a knockdown? That wasn't given, but Stacey now has the guys at ringside. Let's hear from Billy Pickles.
Billy, goodness me, first of all, what a crowd both of you brought, but what a fight. We were just saying at ringside, these are the kind of fights that get remembered by everybody who was here. The kind of fights, you don't want to be in too many of them, but you want to be in at least one of them, because that'll be remembered forever. What a fight.
One's enough. Honest to God, what a great fight. Big respect to Keanen, big respect to his team, you know, they're great people, and we've known them before this fight. And it was a straight 50-50 fight, and we've come, you know, victorious, so I'm buzzing. He'll be back, you know, and big respect to him, and we've done it.
You got caught in the first round, and it didn't damage you, it didn't trouble you, but you could tell you were annoyed with yourself. What did you recognise what you'd done, and how did you make the adjustments?
You know what? As game plan had to get thrown out the window a little bit, you know. We thought he's going to come forward, and he sort of countered me and put me on my backside, like, you know. So we just had to change it up a little bit, get on him a little bit closer and work him and see how he worked. And I felt like it were working.
Well, you said you don't want him to have too many of those. You said you feel thirsty and exhausted after that one. And again, we were saying during commentary, if you're in the corner or supporting a fighter in a fight like this, it's exhausting as well. What were the tactics going in, and how proud are you of your man in terms of what he did tonight?
I know the thing about Billy, he's got a chin, he's got heart, he's got passion. You know what? You're going to have to really put it on to take this guy out. One punch putting him on his butt ain't going to do it. He'll jump straight back and come straight back at you. And you saw that tonight. Yeah, the plan kind of went out the wind. It wasn't really working, some of the stuff. And I said, you know what, Billy? You're just going to have to grind this out. You're going to have to get stuck in here, Billy. Because this guy is actually looking to knock you out. And that's what I felt the guy was putting it on, Billy.
Well, grind it out you did, and you certainly...
Came forward, and he will count, like, on front foot counter, sort of moving back, and it were working for him, so we had to close the gap.
Certainly look like you've been in a fight anyway, Billy. That's for sure.
So
you've certainly earned those battle scars. Now, final question. You've been through the ups and downs of the sport. You went down to Portsmouth and took the opportunity for that English title fight. It didn't work out. A great performance here last time against the Nicaraguan, Christian Narvaez. A fantastic performance tonight in an unbelievable matchup. What is next for Billy Pickles?
Well, it was a Commonwealth Eliminator, so bring on the Commonwealth in it, you know, let's do it.
Where's it going to be?
Hopefully Leeds. Hopefully Dennis will bring it to Leeds.
Right, Dennis, that's what you've got to do. But a final word to you of what this means to you and this incredible support and this crowd you've had here in Sheffield tonight.
Say thank you to everybody who turned up again tonight. You know, it wouldn't be done without you. You know, everybody's spending their hard-earned money, coming all the way to Sheffield, making some serious noise like we have done. All Leeds, aren't we? I want to say thank you to Martin. Top class, you know, we've done the right camp, it's been hard, and I also want to say thank you to all my sponsors and my manager Dennis Hobson for giving me the opportunity again. You know, he seriously pulled it out of the bag for me tonight, and I had to prove myself, and here we are, you know. So
you definitely proved your sen, in your words. Billy, one of the nicest men in boxing, but one of the toughest as well. What a great night. Real privilege to sit ringside and watch that. So to you and Keanen, full credit and congratulations. Enjoy this victory, and we can't wait to see you fight for that Commonwealth title. Well done.
Definitely. Massive respect to Keanen, and look, thank you that we're both going home to our families okay and safe and sound. So
now a phone call to Dennis. Commonwealth title in fighting Leeds, please. Well done.
Well, what a night, and what a night, and what a fight we've had here in Sheffield. Our congratulations go to Billy Pickles. You'll remember that for an awful long time. And from Stacey Copeland and me, John Rawling, it just remains for me to wish you a very good night.